Dorian with Beats of Color. Firstly, Hasan, thank you for giving me some of your time, man. I've been watching you for so long now, so it's just been an honor to get to talk to you. How are you doing today, sir?
Thanks you, thank you, Dorian. Man, you don't gotta call me sir. I feel a certain way. Oh my god.
When I watched your special now, like the first 10 minutes, I was like, damn, I feel like I need to get my wife and I need to start a family soon. Like I felt motivated.
Hey, look, man. If I can inspire you to find a partner and drive a minivan, I'm trying to recruit. So please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So just speaking of that, can you just talk about what it was like coming back to Netflix doing another special like this and crafting it and making it feel authentic and feel like the Hassan way?
Yeah, for me, really, it's been 5 years since my last special. And one of the things I think about all the time is if I'm going to put out a special, there's got to be something new that I got to share. If I'm going to take an hour of your time, I really want to feel like I'm sharing something new with you. And so much has happened in the past 5 years. And over the past couple years, I've been writing and working on the show and really honing in on those themes of who I am as a man, a father, a husband, what I think about jokes, how far I'm willing to take a joke, all of those things. If Homecoming King really was, hey, this is my introduction to the world, this special is really what I believe and why I believe what I believe. It starts with my origin story of when I found out I was funny, and it really explores like, okay, how far am I willing to take a joke?
Like I know some comedians, they'll just let the designer, the set designer, do, or whatever, craft the stage, craft their environment, but you like have a personal vested interest in it and just like shaping it and how you tell a story. So with this one in particular, I felt like it also added that emphasis of like the hour flew by fast, just of like how you incorporated the background and all that, like kind of how you deal with Patriot Act. So can you just talk about how that came about and just how much detail you put into that part of it?
I've always been a nerd with about visual storytelling. Like even as a kid, my parents didn't let us have cable television. This is dating me. Like people got pocket TVs with everything, and they're just in their pocket now because of cell phones. But when I was a kid growing up, I really was inspired by magazines. I could go to the library and get Sports Illustrated for Kids, Slam magazine, Dime magazine, East Bay. Those things really shaped me. Font, kerning, uh, like the proportion of photos in relation to text. And I fell in love with just visual storytelling, color, all of those sort of things. And so when I do a special, I wanted it to feel cinematic. And by cinematic, I mean there's framing, lighting design, stage design, color. And James Turrell was a huge inspiration for this special. So if anyone is familiar with James Turrell, he's this brilliant, brilliant artist that just uses light and nature as a tool to convey emotion. And this show for me was so emotional that I wanted color to be the inspiration more than graphics and data viz and graphs. So once I knew that color was the language, who was the master of color? The great James Turrell. And then once I went down that rabbit hole, you can see the James Turrell inspirations in Drake, Hotline Bling, Dua Lipa's video, even parts of Yeezus, the use of just one beam of light to convey emotion. All of that we took from Turrell. And so once I figured that out, then I worked with our stage designer, Scott Pask, to create this Oculus to then focus the whole show with me in the middle on this plinth. And then I'm telling the whole story there.
So side note, because my mom walked in watching it for a little bit, and she just kept complimenting your shoes, man. So where'd you get those shoes at? Where are those shoes from? Because I do want to cop some of those, man.
Wait, you want to know, or your mom was asking about the shoes?
She pointed them out, but once I started to actually look at them, pay more attention, I was like, hold on now, those are pretty fire. I might have to cop those.
Oh,
Like,
thank you,
what?
man. So those boots are John Elliott. They're John Elliott boots. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
Now you're doing more stand up, and then
yes.
after the special, you continue doing more stand up. Can you just talk about how you're crafting your specials and crafting your stand up now, how you're approaching that?
Yeah. So for me, it always starts with something that I feel that's like really vulnerable or scary, something that I would never want to admit to a friend. Sometimes it also starts with a question. So
Mm.
one of the things that I had written out as a secret was the fertility secret, but also the fact that I liked clout more than I liked actually doing the right thing. And so one of the secrets that I wrote was, can you do the right thing for the wrong reasons? This next show that I'm working on, and I'm already working on the next special, sometimes it'll start with a question, and I'll probably be up and touring and filming it around 2024. And that'll be, again, an election where best believe the country is going to be divided. People are be arguing. But the question that I've written on a piece of paper, and I haven't answered it yet, is to what extent should I care and involve myself in the WWE match that is political discourse? Should I care? Should I care about involving myself in it? Should I be just like stoic and Buddhist about it and be like, no, focus on yourself? That's how you change the world. Change comes from within. That's a philosophical question. And so sometimes starting from there, then you start building out stories and bits that answer that question. So I'm chasing those like truths, you know?
And God, just personally, you got me so much more into political stuff than I have
Wow.
ever was like before
Wow.
watching your shows and all of that. So thank you for that, man. I'm getting a
Thank you.
wrap up sign, so I do got to ask you one thing because love what you did with the Batman on Barry. You the voiceover for the Riddler. So
Thank you.
I know you're tapping more into doing TV shows. You got a movie coming up as well and all that. So if you did ever get to pick a villain or superhero or anything like that you could be or act as, who would you do? Who would you pick, my guy? Like if there's
To me,
any.
Edward Nygma, hands down. And I
Oh, okay.
sincerely hope that the DC universe continues to push the boundaries and break type when it comes to villains. In my opinion, they do villains better than anyone else. Marvel, I think, focuses on the heroes, but DC, they really do an amazing job with their villains. They're multidimensional and they show their humanity. And there's more Batman and Buried coming. And shout out to Winston Duke. Winston Duke is, if you ever get a chance to speak with him, man, that guy's the truth. Winston is a true artist.
Well, I got to wrap it up. It's been an honor speaking with you, man. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for giving me some of your time.